Mahiya naman kayo sa inyong kapwa Pilipino.
Binastos pa nila ako.
What is the law and what
Pakinggan ng proceeds of the illegal drug trade ng Duterte.
You're a law enforcement, the highest law enforcement official being head of PNP. Yeah. And now you're hiding this scoundrel, this fugitive.
Hello po. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat and pasensyahan niyo na po kung may nakikita kayong problema sa aking pagmumukha ngayon kasi po nagbabago na ang weather at yung aking eczema ay ano ba, masyado pong ako'y naapektuhan. Pero pasensya po, lalagyan ko ng konting mamaya. Habang nagsasalita ako at lalagyan ko po ng konting may lotion ako ginagamit. Ayun, before anything else, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe sa ating YouTube channel. Ito po ay recorded video po. Paunawa na rin po sa mga nanonood po sa atin. If ever gusto nyo pong ma-follow ang ating iba pang social media account, meron po tayong QR code na makikita nyo sa ating podcast at pwede nyo pong gamitin doon yung inyong yung inyong cellphone to scan it para po makapunta kayo doon sa ating mga daily postings. And then, ayun po. Okay, so today pag-uusapan po natin all about itong updates dito sa West Philippine Sea at bibigyan po natin ng konting linaw at reaksyon itong mga napabalita dito sa West Philippine Sea at ano yung mga maaaring mag-epekto nito sa ating society pati na rin sa ekonomiya. Kasi alam po natin that right now, kinakaharap po ng buong mundo, nangyayari pong pinakamalaking digmaan or sigalot, sabihin na natin dito sa gitnang silangan, dito sa Iran, Israel at saka United States. Pero I won't delve towards about it. Pero bibigyan po kayo ng mga bagong balita about dyan. Pero before that, I would like to welcome one of our guests today para po makatulong at magbigay ng reaksyon dito sa ating program for today. Please welcome. Hello po, hello.
Hello. Sana
From the time na tayo nagsimula, nandiyan na po siya. Ay, wala na po akong masasabing pasalamat sa kanya dahil isa po siya sa tumulong sa ating channel. But before that, before we even start our conversation po, again, if you have any questions, this is a recorded video. You can put it on comments down below once we get to your messages. And also, just to update everybody, dito po sa international news muna tayo. Right now, as of this recording, which is March 22 Sunday dito po sa United States, nagbigay na po ng taning Pangulo po ng Amerika with 48-hour rule na buksan ang Strait of Hormuz kasi ngayon po nakasara siya. At kung hindi, America will strike doon po sa power plant at saka power grid. Pero meron pong isang balita na kailangan nyo pong malaman at importante nyo pong marinig. Nung isang araw po, narinig po natin yung ikinagulat ng buong mundo. Yung ballistic missile na ni minsan po hindi binanggit ng Iran government na meron sila. This is a great concern po, especially sa bansa ng Ukraine at saka Russia, which they are already talking about it, sa mga bansa sa Europe kasi baka sila na po ang susunod. And this is a great thing kasi apektado ang Asia, tayo po, dahil sa Strait of Hormuz kasi 40% of our oil are coming from the Strait of Hormuz. And 60% ng 60% of missiles, if they really have this kind of missiles, European countries, which is I think now even the NATO Secretary General was saying they are already talking about their their action. So yun po, yun yung itinit na gusto ko ibahagi sa inyo kasi kailangan nyo din po malaman kung ano nangyayari dito. Kasi marami po, if you don't mind Ma'am Corclea, tayong dalawa, dito tayo sa States, pero marami po tayong mga listeners that actually lives in Europe and US. Is there any connection of what can happen between the West Philippine Sea issue with China and also dito sa pagtaas ng presyo ng krudo sa ating Pangulo at administrasyon?
may pumasok dito. So, ang daming na ano, when you were talking about it, 'di ba, yung update, parang nakakalungkot, 'di ba? Kasi when it first started, sinabi kasi ni DJT, in and out lang tayo diyan. At people thought the gas prices would stabilize right away. Yung what you were asking me is, you think it's gonna escalate the tension in the West Philippine Sea? Yun ba yun?
If there is a connection between these two na po pwede po magamit against the president and the administration.
So, when they fired that missile, parang ang tingin ko sasabihin nila, they're gonna start targeting, Iran's gonna start targeting all the bases, the US bases around the world.
Mhm.
I honestly don't think they have the capability of reaching that far na maaabot nila ang Pilipinas, and I don't think they have the bandwidth to do it. But that being said, hindi natin maiaalis sa mga Pilipino na iisipin, ay ang China sasakyan nila ito at ah, kakampi na yan, magkakakampihan na yan ang China, Iran, Russia, and then against the US. We will be on the receiving end. We have, although it's not really na yung parang sinabi natin na, uy, US kami versus China, beses na inakusahan tayo ng China na si PBBM ay parang kumikiling daw sa US. Parang for me, China ay magkakaroon, first of all, the fact na ang US inaakusahan na, 'di ba, might is right na ngayon. Ang
Mhm.
China magsasabi na din, ganun pala yun. Wala ng international law ngayon. Kahit nanalo kayo sa arbitral ruling. Oo, kami na ang mamay-ari diyan sa West Philippines Sea, yung parang gano'n. So, yung sinasabi mo na, ah, pero I don't see any increase in tensions, yun na sila in a significant way, China, na nagtandem dun sa Iran and Israel is ikaw ba?
Kasi ang huli kong balita po when people were talking about this, sabi nila ang una daw po talagang tinatamaan dito sa Strait of Hormuz, Asia, especially China. Lahat ng krudo na kinukuha nila, lahat ng krudong kinukuha nila which is cheaper sa merkado, nanggagaling sa Strait of Hormuz. Kaya even
Mhm,
they said, even China is already saying na dapat tapusin na at maging diplomasya na lang yung bawat kampo. Ang problema lang dito, China is only saying that because of their own national interest.
mhm,
Kasi wala silang makukuhang oil na gano'ng kamura, even Venezuela before. Kaya
mhm,
I think eto lang naman ang akin, tama din yung parang malayo na po tayo ng kuwentuhan pero it's just connected,
mhm,
President Trump na whenever any country in the world requested for our help, lagi tayo nandiyan monetarily, taxpayer namin pero when President Trump even asked na hindi makipaggiyera, buksan lang yung Strait of Hormuz, hindi magawa. Tapos ngayon, nung nalaman na meron palang kakayanan ang Iran na
mhm.
magkaroon ng gano'ng
Isara
missile, 'di ba?
or
So it means marami tayong hindi alam at maraming sinasabi ni Trump na marami silang hindi sinasabi sa publiko.
mhm, ang problema kasi diyan, maraming nung una, 'di ba, even the UK ayaw makialam
Hmm,
kasi takot din sila. Kasi a lot of countries, naka-ano, na dependent, it's because of the oil. Parang natatakot na iho-hold yung oil. Tayo
kasi
lang, eh.
maapektuhan po talaga sila geographically. May mga pipeline,
Yeah.
mga trade ng oil. Pero alam niyo ate, alam niyo yung pinakahuling balita yung 18 years old ata or 19 na Iranian national wrestler, pinatay po siya dahil sa pagkontinue niya sa gobyerno ng Iran. Ano yun, nanalo ata ng I think Olympic medalist, tapos parang last year nanalo siya. Dahil tinuligsa niya yung gobyerno, if I'm not mistaken pinatay siya. I forgot the real story, pero isa yun sa mga naging breaking news last week or this week.
I mean, it's not surprising. Para lang China, hindi ba yung ikumpara mo dito sa amin dito. Pag alam mo, pag nagsasalita ako ng Pilipinas, sinasabi ko talaga dito like I'm in the Philippines. Ikumpara mo sa Pilipinas, natatawa ako na yung mga diehard cartoon supporter na sinasabi, inaapi ko yung aming freedom of speech. Sarap
Mhm.
anong anong inaapi kayo? Kung ano-ano na nga sinasabi niyo tungkol sa presidente, yung mga gano'n.
Mhm.
You have no idea what suppression, what oppression is sa China. I mean, even the vice president threatening the president, the first lady, and the former speaker of the house like that. Sabi ko nga, imagine mo si J.D. Vance said something like that. The FBI would swarming his house like in minutes. Sarap pagala-gala lang, nandun sa nagsho-shopping, nandun sa sahig. You know, I mean, seriously. Pero tingnan mo sa Iran, ayan, actually did not know about that. Sa China, kung merong yung mga a whiff of any kind of yung nagre-rebelde kay Xi Jinping, aba, hindi na nila makikita months later, oh, nasa na pala si General ganito.
Mhm. Well, hanap niyo na po 'yan. Diyan na tayo mag-start ng topic natin, yung about sa China. Dito sa ano natin, sa issue nating lokal, 'di ba po, sa Pilipinas, nakikita natin yung aggression ng China using people from the embassy, using our
Mhm.
own government official to portray and relay their narrative every time. Tingin niyo po ba itong mga aggression ng China within our politics and outside our country, especially dito sa West Philippine Sea, does it create a global attraction and to get a narrative out there?
Ay, oo. Kasi alam mo, yung gray zone tactics nila, ito, they have itong hybrid warfare mga this is modern para sa akin na modern warfare, you know, yung coercion, information ops, economic pressure, yun ang style nila ngayon. You know, parang no formal declaration of war. Pero, yun ang, this is, they're breaking us from within. Eh, meron, yung makatili natin, yung nga sabi ni Ronald Llamas na hindi naman bayong na ang suot,
Ilukan.
kundi peluka. Eh, sabi naman ni, ni Senator Lacson, you don't even have to read what's in the Chinese embassy's website. All you have to do is listen to Senator Marcoleta. He is espousing the thoughts and ideas that are on the Chinese embassy's website. Di ba double pay na yan, Senator Marcoleta? Parang empleyado ka ng China at ng Pilipinas. Di ba?
Bayad ng taxes pa yan.
Bayad ka pa ng taxes sa China? Naku,
Grabe.
ewan ko lang sa'yo.
And I think, Ma'am Carclea, no, I think a lot of people, if they watch your live podcast or your channel as a whole, kahit sa akin po, they sometimes tag our opinions based on the totality ng mga vlogs natin. Ganito ka eh, kaya mo sinasabi yan kasi ganito ka eh. Kasi ganito ka sa presidente, kasi ganito ka sa vice-presidente. Pero I think it's more of like, I think a lot of people misunderstood us. Kasi ako personally, masabi ko po, I'm a pro administration. I will never say I'm never say I'm loyalist or pro BBM. I'm pro the office of the president. Ano eh, nahalal na siya eh. He was majority, halal siya. Pero syempre, ang punto kasi natin dito eh, kung meron man tayo maibabato sa Pangulo, nasaan yung ebidensya? Hindi naman tayo bulag na parang wala ng bagay na hindi siya mali. May mali siya, pero yung iba kasi pinupukol sa kanya, it's mostly allegations eh.
Di ba, I don't think you and I are the type that would ever condone any wrongdoing. Kasi si PBBM, pag nagkamali yan, like for me personally, if he appoints somebody that's outwardly and obviously very crooked, I would say something. If he does something that's not good, like when he was saying in the beginning, he was saying, wag yang impeachment. I called him out and I said, that is not for you to say because there is a separation of powers and you have nothing to do with the impeachment process. So, and sinabi STFU, but, stay out of it.
Kung people cannot say that you are already on leaning towards one party. Kumbaga, nandun ka pa rin sa based on the issue itself.
Yeah. As a citizen, it is your responsibility to support the government. And why is that? Because if the government falls, the entire country will suffer. Kahit kayong mga diehard cartoon supporter, sasuffer din kayo pag hindi nagtagumpay o hindi nyo ba alam yun. Kasi ito yung sinasabi ko, okay lang maging tanga, okay lang maging bobo, pero wag ipagsabay ang maging tanga at bobo. At pag naging tanga at bobo, wag araw-arawin. Yun ang sinasabi ko.
Paminsan-minsan,
Ma-
wag naman araw-araw.
Oo. At kung pwede, wag sabay-sabayin. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Do not wish for the president to fail because if the president fails, the whole country suffers. And you are part of that country, dumbass. Diba?
Tama. I think, Mama, tayo ng konti sa topic natin. There were this issue coming from, alam naman natin, mga nangyari sa government officials natin. Tapos dito sa mga taong, sabihin na natin, mga makabagong makapili. Na sinasabi nila that the strategy of the president and the administration together with Justice Carpio, Jake Tariela, yung transparency strategy nila, it mocks and start aggression towards China, us Philippines. Do you think that's the strategy of the entire government headed by the president about this West Philippine Sea, create aggression towards us?
So, ibig sabihin, transparency strategy o provoke ng aggression?
Yes, yun yung parang sinasabi ng mga kritiko na kung habang nagsasalita tayo, hindi natin dinadaan sa diplomasya, mas nagagalit ang China at maaari pa talagang dumating sa punto na magkaroon ng digmaan.
I think not. There is a risk kasi China sometimes responds by doubling down, no? Kasi they're trying to show that they will not be shamed. But I think it helps because publicizing incidents builds global awareness and you cannot, for example, no, yung galit na galit sila do cartoons, yung caricature. Galit na galit sila, but they could not argue with the videos of what they do in the West Philippine Sea. So what they do is they get upset about stupid shit because we are building global awareness. We're trying to strengthen legal and moral standing. So it makes it harder for China to rewrite the story because when you are silent, and this is what we were talking about. Sometimes you have to complain even when it's hard. Remember my personal story? Sometimes you have to complain even when it's hard because silence benefits the aggressor more. Transparency is not the problem. The problem is when transparency is not matched with coordinated consequences. Minsan kasi, sometimes that's the way the world works. Kakaroon ng consequences.
Correct. And sabi nga nila namimihasa habang wala nagsasalita. Yun yung nagiging problema. Ma'am, another opinion that I got from another think tank. Headed naman siya, isa siyang political analyst and he's heading a think tank group dito sa Philippines. Sabi niya po dito, nag-iisip siya kung ang diplomasya pa at this moment is still effective if there is hundreds and thousands of people protesting about the issue of West Philippine Sea. Sa inyong palagay po ba, is diplomacy still working at this moment in our crisis sa West Philippine Sea and is it effective?
I would like to point out, kasi maraming nagsasabi, "Uy, sa panahon ni Digong wala namang nagpo-protest." Hoy, kayong tatanga sa time ni Digong meron din, hindi lang nila sinasabi sa inyo, okay? Si Digong, hindi niya sinabi kasi gusto niyang ipalabas na ang mga China at taga-China ay kaibigan natin, pero marami din silang protest. Inuut
Actually, Ma'am Cart, yung sinasabi niyo kasi kung makita niyo yung last ko na live, si Ma'am Pira Luca, sinabi niya na ano, talamak po yung land grabbing sa iba't ibang probinsya because of
Oo.
Chinese infiltration sa country. Headed by, with help of Harry Roque and other people from the previous administration.
Harry Roque.
Mhm. Do you think that Philippines should still escalate yung issue or should maintain restraint?
Hindi, eto,
Hmm,
diplomacy is necessary, but it's not sufficient. Kasi yung mga, ano tawag nila dun, not verbal. Bawat isa diyan nakatala na din. You know, it builds like a legal and historical record. Eh, siyempre, titignan yan, umabot na ng 200 plus protests. So it's important for future cases, for alliances, on their own, hindi magbabago ang behavior ng China. So,
mhm.
diplomacy will only bite when it's paired with security cooperation, with economic measures, when it's coordinated with messaging with allies and partners. Kaya nga, si PBBM is working hard to build alliances. Di ba? Gibo, Teodoro, pati yung ating Navy, Coast Guard, we're working hard to have military drills with other countries kasi gusto natin ipakita sa China, uy, meron na kaming mga friends. Oh. So diplomacy still matters, but as one tool in a larger strategy. We 'di ba anong sabi ni PBBM? He will never ever get rid of diplomacy.
Pero ma'am, 'di ba minsan yun din ang parang nagiging, punto de vista ng mga kritiko ni President Marcos, eh. Parang iba na sinasabi nila, harapan na tayong ginagago ng China, sa West Philippine Sea. Ba't hindi natin gawin yung tama sa diplomasya? Parang sinasabi nila because of this, nakikita natin yung kahinaan ni President Bongbong sa international scene dahil hindi siya nagpapakita ng ng parang strength niya tulad nung ginawa daw ng Indonesia na binomba rin nila pabalik ng tubig yung barko ng China. Malaysia did that too when they were restrained para mag-explore ng island nila, ng oil exploration ng China pero they still do it. I think isa ito, ako personally, wi for President Marcos to improve yung personal ano niya, yung, international, affects niya sa West Philippine Sea. Parang nakikita ko lang si Tariela lang mostly talaga yung matinding bumanat sa China pero I don't hear too much from the president. Ano pong tingin niyo diyan?
I think it's also because of his personality na
Hmm,
'pag bigla siyang nag-astig-astigan, it's not gonna sound genuine.
hmm.
You know, people are gonna say it's gonna sound
Wala sa
fake
persona
because
niya.
yeah, because naalala mo ba yung this is something I'm never ever gonna forget. There was an interview with nung tinatanong si Digong kasi he was saying na yung the one after the first time I think na he said in a Davao um rally na siya, "Sinabi mo ba yun?" Sabi niya, "Ay, makapatay ng langaw yan." I'll never ever forget that for somebody that was trying to destroy him politically, and yet saying that he was the kindest person that he had ever met. I mean, in everybody that says kahit yung mga nagsasabing addict siya, they will never um backtrack on the fact that he's a kind man. For you to say na, oh, magiging mag-astig-astig siya, I don't think that's gonna work because that's really not in his character. That's why they hired Yusek Clary.
And then also Ma'am Court, 'di ba? I think we're also ano pa eh, nandun pa tayo. Siguro I think na isa ako dun sa mga tao na andun pa parang andun pa ako sa after effect ni PRRD na yung namamahiya, 'di ba, yung nagbumura.
Yeah.
Tas dumating si
Yeah.
BBM parang asa na yun?
Yeah. But, here's the thing. Have you read that Politico.com na article where meron daw isang cabinet secretary, and I don't know because Politico.com is supposed to be, I don't know, it's gossipy, but most of the time, totoo naman yung mga chismis doon.
Mhm.
Supposedly, one of the cabinet secretaries got a dressing down na pinahiya daw talaga ni PBBM yung isang cabinet secretary doon. And I don't know if that's true or not, pero if he did that, that's so out of character for him. So I don't know if a different character is coming out, but if that's true, then maybe that's good news. Nung ano nga, sabi ko, my God, can you become more like your dad in some aspects? Ako yung naiinis sa kanya na kung ano-ano na sinasabi sa kanya. Can you please just become a little bit, a little bit of cojones
Salita ka naman, konti namang balls.
talaga. But because, I think maybe because she doesn't really hold office, si PBBM, he's so measured, he's so pero at the same time, he doesn't really say much, but then look at where Digong is now, yung sinasabi nila, weak president, and yet Digong is at the Hague, weak yun, kung hindi pa weak yun, baka nasa Mars na si Digong.
Hindi lang yun, ma'am. Alam niyo po, minsan nakikita ko din eh. Yan, yung kung ano yung weakness point ni Pangulo, yan din yung strongest point niya. Kasi hindi, ano yung tawag dito? Siya yung tipo ng presidente na unpredictable.
They
Hindi
don't
porket hindi siya nagsasalita, hindi porket hindi siya nagsasalita, wala siyang ginagawa. Pero pag nagsalita siya, natapos na bago niya pa sabihin. Parang
correct,
yun yung
correct.
nakikita ko po sa kanya. And I think it might be a tactic politically, especially one of the biggest example that I can siguro masasabi ko yung 'di ba yung nahuli si Duterte. Tas after nun 'di ba ang daming kritiko kasi nga sinasabi na ang lamya naman ng sagot dahil lang sa sumusunod sa red notice, yun ang reason kung ba't kinuha. Pero after that, yung alyansa pa rin ng Kamara at saka Senado na kay President Bongbong Marcos. So he know how to play the game. Di lang siguro niya sinasabi talaga kasi ganun siguro
Yeah.
siya maglaro. Hindi siya marumi. I think so.
Si Sal Panelo was saying, do not underestimate this man. And people were thinking, si Sal Panelo bumaliktad na, but actually it was not a compliment. He was saying that this was a Machiavellian character trait na parang pailalim tumira si PBBM.
Mahirap yun. Mas matindi kasi
Mhm.
hindi mo nape-predict kung anong mangyayari.
Exactly. Exactly. In some ways, I think that can be an asset when you are perceived as weak because you don't say too
Yes.
much
Yes.
and people think you're not going to do anything. You're perceived as harmless, and then boom, diba? They
And I think
never saw it coming.
and ma'am, if you're perceived weak, ganun kataas na expectation that you need to do this kasi nga mababang standard nila sa'yo.
Exactly.
And I think that's where he actually shines towards this kasi kapag may action
Mhm.
ang tao kasi,
Mhm.
what? Ginawa niya 'to? Pero yung expectation wala din.
Exactly.
And I think that's his weakness that he's using as his strong point. At ma'am,
Yung
magkakaroon ng
sinasabi mo na yung titirahin din yung China. Sa akin lang ha,
Mm.
if we have to escalate, we need to escalate smartly. I've asked, nakikita ko naman yan, tinanong ko kasi si Trinidad niyan dati, yung spokesperson ng Navy. Sabi niya, we cannot fire shots because you cannot give China a pretext to start escalating even further. So when you escalate smartly, it means strengthening alliances, you harden your presence, damihin mo yung presence mo. That's why we're accumulating more ships, joint exercises. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng
Ma'am, ano ang perceived ninyo na puwedeng mangyari with our ASEAN partners towards the West Philippine Sea? Kasi I think there might be some connections of what's going on in Iran at ano yung puwedeng gawin na next move ng China, especially dito sa West Philippine Sea.
So, ang tingin ko kasi, a lot of the ASEAN countries are very cautious, no? Parang minsan ambiguous sila kasi they are rely heavily on China for trade and investment. Siguro yung iba din natatakot sila yung magiging next target, no? Yung iba
Mhm.
claimants din, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei. So, a consensus is kind of difficult to get. So, you don't get hard commitments. So, ang tingin ko lang mahihirapan tayo. Kaya lang, if we're all on the same boat na kailangan ng cheaper gas, I think everybody, even China is saying na the Strait of Hormuz needs to be opened up. Hindi
Mhm.
ba? So, I think everybody's gonna support the end of the Iran-Israel conflict soon. Yun ang tingin ko. Now, everybody's gonna start supporting that.
I see. So, parang magkakaroon sila ng unanimous, probably statement. Parang EU ang type na,
Yung parang
"This is our
alliance
position."
ba? Oh, just to know ha.
Yeah, it might be actually, it's a good sentiment kasi it's a
Mm.
cause and effect situation, eh. May giyera na hindi naman tayo kasali, for instance, sa Pilipinas. Pero apektado tayo sa ibang bagay na mas malaki ang resulta diretso sa sikmura ng tao. Mataas ang krudo, mataas ang bilihin, kahit anong gawin mo diyang tipid at ipon, talagang walang matitira. And I think this is a very valid opinion towards dito sa issue na 'to. Alam naman po natin, Ma'am Cart, na this year, Philippines will head the ASEAN Summit and there might be some biggest and prominent names coming in. Donald Trump, Russian President Putin, Chinese President, and also the Japanese Prime Minister will, I've heard, gonna come over dahil nga sa issue nila din sa China. What do you think would be the biggest priority dito naman with regards to West Philippine Sea? Ang tingin yung ipupush ni narrative ng ating Pangulo dito sa ating mga delegates? Mhm, mhm.
From the rest of the ASEAN na yung hard commitments, hindi soft statements from the other members of the ASEAN. Kasi right now, very ambiguous yung mga statement ng mga other members of the ASEAN.
Yeah, and I think sabi
Parang
nga nila malamya ang sagot ng ibang ASEAN countries. Pero I'm hoping that these are all in the works, ika nga. Kasi sabi nga natin kanina, as our premise kanina, the president is doing something that we don't usually expect of him doing it. At baka isa ito sa pinaplansya going to the ASEAN Summit, especially ang issue ngayon na pag-uusapan, especially dito sa Iran War. Well, Ma'am Cart, again, maraming salamat kasi itong simpleng topic natin, stretch natin more than 30 minutes which is our target time. Pero ma'am, pag kayo kausap ko, lagi na lang humahaba ang simple topic natin. Pero thank you. Marami ako na take note.
dal-dal.
Oo, pero Ma'am Cart, sa mga listeners, I think with our last part of our podcast, before anything else pala, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe tong videos natin. And also, you can also go to our social media account using your phone, scan the QR code para po maka-follow po kayo sa ating daily posting. Ma'am Cart, huling question ko po, no? With all of this happening, ang daming pagbabago sa gera sa Middle East, tapos tong West Philippine Sea, there's tons of provocation inside and out of our country. Yung isang simpleng Pilipino na si Jose, si Juan, ah, etong mga tao na 'to, na wala namang kinalaman sa politics, they don't even know, they don't care. Basta trabaho lang silang trabaho, they support their family. On your side, especially you're from the other country, ano po yung masasabi ninyo or ano yung mapapayo niyo sa kanila? How can they survive this crisis? Ano yung masasabi niyo sa kanila on how they can support the country as patriots?
So, para sa akin una, ialis po natin yung pagbe-blame. Ba't naman unang-una maghahanap tayo ng sino yung ating ibe-blame, tapos ang makikita kaagad, yung pangulo. Ano naman ang kinalaman tapos naman sa commuters hindi tinaasan yung mga, the fare
Masan?
'no, pamasahe. So, i-ano natin sa West Philippine Sea, you are not imagining, seryoso po ito 'no, yung mga mangingisda. Totoong may naputulan ng daliri, totoo po, nakita niyo sa video yun. Hindi po imahinasyon, ano pang sabihin ng mga vlogger na binabayaran ng China kahit hindi man nila aminin yun. Bakit naman mga Pilipino ito kumakampi sa China, bakit may senador tayo na ang kanyang mga inuulat ay galing at pareho sa mga sinasabi ng Chinese Embassy. What? Ayan, yung ruling po ng sa UNCLOS ng 2016, nagsasabi na ang batas, international law po yun, ay nasa pabor po siya sa Pilipinas. Mahirap man ipatupad, pabor pa din sa atin yun. Wag po nating sabihin na papel lang yun. Kung sa mata ng mga karton supporter, ay bahala na sila. Pero po, paniwalaan po natin yun. Tapos yung ating mga kaibigan, yung mga nakikipag-drill sa ating mga Navy, Coast Guard, o importante po, hindi po yun ibig sabihin na, ay, kailangan niyo pala ng may kaibigang si Sarah nga nagsulat ng bro, isang kaibigan. Si Sarah, isa lang kaibigan niya, tayo marami. O, di ba? Tapos, this is going to be a long game. Hindi ito matatapos ng isang araw lang. So, maging matatag tayo, di ba? Most of all, civic pressure matters. Importante po na taong bayan kung sino.
Ayan, 'di ba? Kaya gustong-gusto ko talaga marinig yung opinion ni Ma'am Clark sa mga ganyan kasi yung passion niya at yung kanyang dedication sa political issue natin dito sa bansa talaga na na-express niya in a way na madaling sabihin na natin na madaling makaapekto sa ordinaryong tao, 'di ba? Hindi mo na kailangan i-ChatGPT ko talagang ramdam na ramdam mo yun. And I think sa lahat po ng mga nakikinig at nanonood itong recorded video, maraming salamat po sa inyong support. I think dito po sa napag-usapan natin, marami tayong nakita, marami tayong narinig at natutunan. And I think this is something na dapat natin pinag-uusapan at hindi natin to dapat tinatago kasi po the more that sabi nga ni Ma'am Carclea, the more that you don't talk about something, hayaan mo yung aggressor o yung nagte-take benefit to gain more because you're not talking about it. And I think this is one of the best example. And siguro idadagdag ko na rin kasi nagte-take note ako ng sinasabi sinasabi ni Ma'am. Mabilis po kasi siya magsalita, mabagal ako magsulat. Ito sa krisis na pinag-uusapan po natin right now, asan ba yun? Ayun. Okay, do'n sa krisis sa pinag-uusapan po natin ngayon, po natin kung ang pananakot ay pumapalit na sa diplomasya dahil sa agresyon ng China at ang katahimikan ay, pumapalit na sa hustisya. Ang tanong natin, and I think this is one thing that I've learned while we're talking to Ma'am Carclea, hindi na iba sa atin ang salitang kaguluhan o giyera. Nandiyan na yan, nasa tabi na lang yan, puwede na mangyari kahit kailan. Ang tanong na lang, kailan at sino ang mag-uumpisa? That's for you listeners to think about it and to know. Kasi meron na ho tayong giyera sa loob pa. Minsan, I never even thought na pagdedebatehan ng isang senador at isang former justice teritoryo ng bansa na naisabatas na. Yun po ay isang halimbawa ng isang gerang pangbansa. Parang hindi mo alam kung anong totoo, 'di ba? Which is dapat alam mo na 'yan. And, I think sana po 'wag po tayong mapagod na pag-usapan itong mga issue na 'to dahil marami po, kahit kami mga Pilipino sa ibang bansa, we still support what the government is doing and what our country is doing for our citizens. 'Yun, so yun po, maraming salamat po Ma'am Carclea. I'll send you the link for our, live. Maraming salamat po sa ating mga listeners. Ma'am Carclea, thank you po and, thank you and, God first.